Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I am a 25-year-old piece of gold on the side of the microphone and the greatest sports recreational podcast around the world today. I'm a former Bulletcast champion. I'm no longer the champion, but I think I'm the new ECW champion. After the photo I posted, shout out to my homie West Coast Design, another beautiful custom made championship. I love his work. If you want a custom championship, please go hit him up. But I'm never alone. He's my tag team partner, the Jimmy Uso, the Tully DeMar, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the host of the award-winning Under the Radar that may never come back. Host and creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots. He is the first ever and 12-time Bulletcast champion? The Canadian Destroyer, Brandon Tanguma. Brandon, how's it going, man?
Phillip, it's doing just fine. Special announcement. The Bulletcast is now a fully vaccinated podcast. I'm fully vaccinated. You're got your double shots. I think Cindy has her shots as well. So we're just all double vaxxed up in this bish.
Oh, so we can hang out in person now? Did you see what the CDC said?
Apparently they say that. Oh, it's all fine and dandy. You can just not wear a mask and just have your thing hanging out.
Have your thing out. Have your thing out. No. So we're going to do these podcasts in person now, right?
I mean, I think we got a nice thing going. We'll just, be at home, not wear any pants. I mean,
we don't have to wear pants when we're in the same room together. We can wear shorts.
Let the thing hang out.
No, whoa. If that happens, I'm leaving. No. Oh, man. I mean, I've been watching some of them back, man. When there's nothing like doing an in-person podcast. Get to play off each other's emotions and whatnot. It's not the same here. You know, there's like that little bit of a delay. You're not right on the action. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, Phillip. I mean, sometimes the technology doesn't work the way it should, but I think though, after a year plus of doing this, well, I mean, we were doing it before the pandemic actually started. I think we've been doing just fine. Maybe we'll move back into the studio. I don't know if you got that connection still, but we'll be a studio podcast once again. So beautiful. Remember those days? I would set up basically everything.
I do remember those days. Yeah. I mean, I have that connect. They hit me up for possible employment somewhere, in a podcast field. So look at that. But did you see my photo of my new ECW title, man? What'd you think?
I did see a photo with the plated Phillip underneath it. It's all fancy. It's almost like, it's customized just for you.
It's all mine. I love it. I'm the new king of extreme. Tony Vargas wants a shot. I told homie at Ugwa, hey, book it. Me and Vargas. I'll do it. I'll have a death match.
When you can't win a title on your own, I guess you just got to create your own.
What do you mean? I win that title all the time. Hold on now. I'm like the Flair of that thing. No, hold on. How dare you?
I'm like the Charlotte Flair. I just collect it, and none of them really matter, but I have a bunch of them.
They all matter. I mean, come on, man. Every single one matters. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into anything else, we do have to discuss our sponsor, HD for Life socials, hd.4.life. The HD for Life on teesprings.com. Designs, Get Her Done 1 and 2, Hurry Up 1 and 2, Mr. Sapo 1 and 2, H-Dog, Mother's Love, King H-Dog, H-Dog-Get It, Mr. Pimpin', HD for Life Americana, Common Sense, Soldier H-Dog, Life Safety, HD for Life Safety, Lily's Love, HD Life Orange and Pink, HD for Life Orange and Pink, Softball Life Reunite, Generations, Little Rena, Little H-Dog, Explode, Show Quality 1, 2, and 3, Drinkware, Fanny Pack, Socks, Hoodies, T-shirts, Sweatpants, Tank Tops, face masks, tote bags, mugs, pillows, beach towels, posters, blankets, phone cases, stickers, and so much more. HD for Life, teesprings.com. Go get you some graffiti artwork. You know you're going to want to love it. You know you're going to want to wear it. Do it now. Listen to me. I am the voice of reason. Go do it now. HD for Life on Teesprings. Mother's Day's passed. Father's Day is coming up next month. I'm going to get your father a nice graffiti tee. Am I right? Am I right, Brandon?
Not only is Phillip a wrestling aficionado, he knows a thing or two about fashion. And if he's plugging this graffiti artwork, then it's good. I mean, if you've seen Phillip in person, just so drippy.
Speaking of drip, bro, my wrestling coach today, they were like, "Oh, coach, you dripping?" And he's like 48, so he's like, "What is that?" And everybody started laughing. I'm like, "That means you got some style, man. You coach drip now. You feels me? If I should start wearing the graffiti artwork, and then I'll be coach drip."
Exactly. That's how. If you purchase this, you purchase these shirts, these these fashion items, you can officially you could be like John Morrison and just be like whatever your name is, drip.
We're gonna have to have a talk about the drip with John Morrison. It's becoming comical at this point. It really has.
And we all know the king of the drip is Seth Rollins. So.
Seth drip Rollins. Those monitors in the Thunderdome get moist when he's out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Seth Rollins, didn't he wrestle on Throwback SmackDown?
He did. And what else? It was like Throwback SmackDown, but it wasn't exactly like one of those Raws where they just, tout and put everyone else out there. We saw Teddy Long. That was cool. We saw a digitized fist. No in-person fist on the show. But the big news everyone's talking about is we got the return of Jimmy Uso. He's back. He came out and kind of dapped up his brother, kind of hesitant, but he didn't acknowledge Roman maybe the way Roman wants him to be acknowledged, but gave him a little hug. And Jimmy kind of standoffish, obviously going back to the Hell in a Cell and everything that happened back then, but it's still family. You kind of gotta you still love your family even though they might have done some bad things in the past. Phillip, where do you see Jimmy Uso in this Roman hierarchy? Does he fall in line? Do we get a singles feud? Do we get them just a tag team? There's a bunch of different options you can go here.
I'm not opposed to people will be like, "Oh, but you did that with Jay." I mean, they could do like a couple match series and he falls in line just like his brother, or he could be very hesitant to fall in line and then he doesn't get to join the family, Something like that could happen. I'm very interested to see where they go with it. But in the end, you kind of have to acknowledge Roman. You have to. He's our tribal chief. He's the head of the table.
You don't have to, but it probably.
Brandon, do you know the reason why you were able to eat dinner tonight? Because Roman Reigns is our tribal chief. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. Don't deny
it. Nice guy Roman is. Feeding the people, feeding the public.
Exactly. Like I went to Denny's the other day with some homies. I was like, guys, you know why we're able to come here? Roman allowed the establishment to be open. He was like, yeah, that location could be open today. I mean, come on. Because, the family's from the East Bay, so they got some pull. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure I have some of Roman Reigns' cousins living a couple houses down from me.
Hey, that's a possibility, man. The Anawa family tree is everywhere. But yeah, on a serious note, though, I wouldn't mind we get one Jimmy Uso versus Roman Reigns match. I think it'd be good. I've always, now that we have main event Jey Uso, but before that, I always thought that Jimmy was the better of the two. But now we're gonna see.
Yeah, we will see. I think you kind of have to do some sort of feud with Jimmy and Roman, especially because Jimmy was trying to talk Jey out of falling in line with Roman, and maybe they go down a very similar route. But I think you gotta kind of do something with that. But Cesaro's still in the mix. I don't know what they will do with WrestleMania Backlash. And we'll talk about and preview that, but it is official. Cesaro will face Roman at WrestleMania Backlash. Thoughts? What do you think? We can get into an actual prediction of the match, but what do you think the feud overall is going to go? Do you see this kind of being a one-off and then we go to Jimmy, or is this going to be a substantial thing that possibly leads into SummerSlam?
I think one or two matches. I think one or two matches, and because they have WrestleMania Backlash, they have Money in the Bank, and then they have a July pay-per-view.
which I believe is Extreme Rules, but don't quote me on that.
So yeah, let's say Cesaro does it at WrestleMania Backlash, gets screwed, then we go to Money in the Bank, okay, and then Jimmy, he's still not falling in line. He could wrestle Roman at Extreme Rules in a one-off, and then we could get ready for SummerSlam, which I see Roman going up against potentially maybe a babyface Brock Lesnar.
That's the thing, is if you have SummerSlam, maybe eyeballing that to be a big show with a full capacity crowd, and rumors are they're looking at possibly a Madison Square Garden being the place for SummerSlam. And Roman has been the top guy, the top thing going in WWE, period. And you don't want to have, I love Cesaro, but since you're starting it right now, I don't know, having 3 matches with crappy finishes, and then maybe, unless you coronate Cesaro, but it's also kind of hard to feel how hot he is right now.
They don't need crappy finishes. Like I said a couple months ago, Roman just needs to start beating people. No, like Heyman and Uso, whatever, they can walk him down to the ring, but Roman needs to be like, all right, I got this, Paul. I got this, cuz. He just needs to start beating people on his own.
The only problem with that is I look around the roster and I don't know who they can build besides maybe Big E, unless you take someone from NXT to be the guy to dethrone Roman. And the only other person is The Rock, and I don't even know if that's a possibility.
No, see, Roman doesn't lose the title until he beats Rock.
Which we're putting the carpet for the horse. We don't even know if that's going to be a real thing.
It has to happen. If it's not Dallas, it's LA. It's the universal title. Do you really care if Roman Reigns has the title for that long? As long as the stories and matches are compelling and good, do you care? Be realistic.
That's the thing. I don't know if they can make it compelling and good for over a year with the roster they have.
Okay. Look, Roman comes back at the end of August. We're almost at the 1 year mark of him being back. For this calendar year, he's been the most consistent and the most interesting thing. Let's keep the momentum. Because if he mixes it up with there'll be little one-offs that'll pass by. Let's say we do the Jimmy Uso thing, and then let's say we get the Brock thing and he beats Brock. That'll be compelling and big. Okay, we go into October. He's not really doing much. We get Survivor Series. It's the brand versus brand. So him versus Lashley, whoever the WWE champion is, I'm all for that. We can do something like that. We get to TLC. Squashes somebody. He doesn't even have to have a TLC match. You can just squash somebody who gets an opportunity. We get to the Rumble, does some stuff, and then we just keep building it. He survives the Elimination Chamber, enters at 1, beats everybody. Just this constant trend of wreck everyone and leave and show up and win and stack them and win. All the monikers, all the things that he says. We just keep on that trail, and then no. Let's do that. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. This one, he beats Cesaro. He could go to Money in the Bank, beats Cesaro again, wrestles Jimmy Uso at Extreme Rules, beats Jimmy Uso, goes to SummerSlam, beats Brock, and then what do we get? What do we get to? We get to September, October, a couple BS one-offs. We get to a Survivor Series. He beats Bobby Lashley, or whoever the WWE champion is at Survivor Series.
Jinder Mahal.
Give me that. You can never hinder Jinder. We're going to talk about that. And then we get to TLC, and he has a pretty good TLC match with somebody. There's going to be a draft by this time, so he could be wrestling a babyface AJ Styles in the TLC match. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. He could be wrestling Omos. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be a return. There could be call-ups by this point in time, but he wrestles somebody at TLC and he beats him. Goes to the Rumble, beats somebody. And then we get to the Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce has been going through this for far too long. He stacks the deck against Roman. Roman beats that. We get to Fastlane or whatever it's going to be. He has a really solid competitive match where he's almost loses it, but no. And then he's like, I've beaten everybody. If you smell doo-doo-doo, but you haven't beaten me. Boom. We're in Dallas. And I want to say 100,000 people. We don't know what's going to happen. It's Texas. Nobody cares. But you get what I'm saying. We're in Texas. We're in Dallas. A Rock versus Roman. Rock looks up at the lights. His final match. Remember, his last match was in that same building when he wrestled Eric Rowan for 6 seconds.
Shortest match of all time.
Yes. So there's history there. So we get there, and he beats them, and and then he's like, "All right, I'm the greatest champion of all time. I beat Brock. I beat Rock. I beat Daniel Bryan. I ended his career. I beat Edge. He's just going through the list, just beating everybody. And then how do you take it off of him? I don't know. Brandon, you book how we take it off. How we take it off of Roman Reigns? He's beating Daniel Bryan and Edge and Cesaro and his cousins, and he's beating Kevin Owens and he's beating Brock Lesnar, and he's beating Bobby Lashley, and he's beating probably Jinder Mahal, and he's beating everybody in the Elimination Chamber. He beats the biggest movie star in the world today, the biggest star in Hollywood. He's beating everybody. How do you take that title off of Roman Reigns?
I would say
Does he succumb to the briefcase?
No, you have to have like a giant match for the reason why Roman. You can't just have him lose at Extreme Rules. It has to be at a big show. Now, Drew McIntyre is kind of the one main roster person I can see that could possibly take the title off Roman, but he has. I will say he has lost so much steam since after WrestleMania, and with Jinder coming back, I am scared that is just going to bring him to a halt during the summer.
I have an idea, and this is going to sound crazy. What about Riddle? I know we got the RK Bro thing going on, but hear me out. Roman could be like, "You think this is a joke? This isn't a joke to me." And they build it up. They build it up. He doesn't get the job done. Okay, we go at it again. Doesn't get the job done. Step away from it. Win some like kind of number one contendership match. You'd be like, "Oh, they're not going to put the title on Riddle." He hits like a crazy knee in that Bro Derek. 1, 2, 3. Pop. Like big pop. We're talking like the Rock and Roll Express in like 1985 pop. Okay?
Phillip, are you okay?
What?
You just booked Matt Riddle to beat possibly Roman Reigns' historic championship reign.
Look, I'm thinking outside the box. I'm the creative juices are flowing. Maybe there was something in this Gatorade. I don't know what's going on.
I don't, as much as I love Riddle, I don't see him being that guy.
Or look, there could be a draft and he could have a couple matches with Roman and lose. We could do that too. But I'm saying who could really be the guy? There has to be somebody that's on the mic who could go on the mic too. I mean, could you really wait that long for Big E?
The only person that's coming to mind that I could see it being a really big deal is Adam Cole. Johnny Gargano's too small. Johnny Gargano's too small, even though he's a much better babyface.
What about Keith Lee? He should be back by that time, right?
Keith Lee should be back, but he should have been like a much bigger deal when he came back the first time.
You know what? I feel like that should be the guy.
I'm fine. I mean, I would love that, but I just don't know Vince because he's too fat. If that's a thing.
Fat? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Vince cares.
Look, Vince was a little chub at one point in time. He should understand.
I read on the internet that apparently, I read on the internet, so it must be true, that apparently he thought Bray Wyatt was a little too thick.
Bray Wyatt he was a little thick boy. He was. That's why he got yoked out. Why do you think Shinsuke wore the bodysuit? He doesn't like skinny flab either. You know what I'm saying? But look, man,
they sign Okada, and Okada takes the title off of Roman.
And who takes Okada's spot? No Way Jose, right? In New Japan, right?
Exactly.
Right?
He's just waiting low. He's laying low during the pandemic, training his arse off. And No Way Jose is going to be your 2022 G1 Climax winner.
Okay. Oh. You know what? If that happens, I will never be the Bullet Cast champion again. I will never win that championship again. Okay.
I don't follow No Way Jose anywhere, so I don't even know what he's doing. So I need to go check him out.
Is he still a thing? Well, we've covered SmackDown as much as we're going to cover it. Dark Side of the Ring aired, episode 1 and 2 about flying Brian Pillman, the loose cannon. It was cool, man. I enjoyed it. Brian Pillman's one of those guys where I started getting into like the history of the business back like 10 years ago. Started watching some of his stuff like on YouTube and whatnot before the network even existed. Yeah, man, it was cool. I love the Hollywood Blondes era of Brian Pillman's career, the stuff in Stampede Wrestling, and then the loose cannon, which is always a fascinating story. I mean, you get into like the Pillman's got a gun, and then you get into the the drug abuse. I didn't even know about the car accident. And then it's just crazy, man. And then the stuff that his kids went through and his widow, the stuff that she did. Brandon, what are your thoughts about the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Flying Brian Pillman?
I absolutely loved it. I mean, I know kind of the overarching story of Brian Pillman's career. I kind of forgot about the Hummer accident, which just completely put him in a downward spiral and kind of led, unfortunately, to his death, really, because of the pain and unable to, wrestle and be the type of athlete that he normally was. And, just kind of further went down the hole of prescription drugs. And that was kind of really the main reason what happened. But the personal stuff is really what got me invested in. I learned a lot about because I didn't know too much about his personal life. I didn't even know that his first wife committed suicide, mainly because of things that his current wife / widow said to her, which we don't need to get into that. If you've seen it, it's some very bad things. And
yeah, it's not good.
The 3 different kids with 3 different moms, that's just a different type of scenario as well. And it's just, it's definitely behind the scenes is a crazy story. And it was very entertaining. The Nick Gage one is out today. Haven't seen that one yet. Don't know too much about him, except for that he's a crazy man. So that one, I'm a fan of the New Jack episode. I think the New Jack one personally might be my favorite one. So if it's anything like that, I am sure to enjoy the Nick Cage one. Nick Gage.
All for it. Shout out Nick Cage. Gage, right?
Nick Gage.
You said Cage.
Cage?
I'm pretty
Brian
sure you said Cage.
Is it Brian Cage? Is he related to Christian Cage?
There is a Nick Cage, right? The actor, right? Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
The Da Vinci Code, right? Mm-hmm. Ghost Rider. I'm right?
Yes, Ghost Ride the Whip.
No, I'm serious. Like
we were looking for Nick Gage. I was kind of right. I was half right.
Yes, no, I'm talking about the actor.
Nicolas Cage, the meme god.
Yeah.
Well, now I would say Elon Musk is.
Elon Musk okay.
Is the meme god.
I see. Moving on from that, AEW will be back on the road starting in July. I think their first stop is Miami, and then they're going to be hitting Garland, Texas, and whatnot. So AEW, they're going back on the road. Double or nothing, full capacity. They're going back to different towns. They're traveling again. How do you feel about it, Brandon?
Well, if you listen to the brief 2-week return of Under the Radar, we talked about this a little bit, that Jim Ross hinted at them going back on the road. And I was like, it makes sense. Hopefully by that time we'll be a little better. And it looks like we are. And I kind of rightfully predicted that they're going to go to Florida and Texas because those are the 2 big states that are open pretty much 100% capacity. I know for Minnesota, like the Twins and some other baseball teams, they're starting to open up at 100% capacity. So I still feel it's going to be a little ways till they make our way towards California, but it's looking like NAEW beat WWE to the punch, which is always kind of another feather in their cap.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting as long as everybody's safe. The CDC said that if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear masks outside or whatever. You just get rid of your mask in general, which I don't do that. Keep wearing your mask.
But if you're going to a thing like this, they would encourage you to wear a mask. It's only like if you're just with other fully vaccinated people or you're kind of just by yourself.
Yeah, man. Like, don't
be stupid.
Don't be stupid. And like, did you see the thing on Twitter about the dude who, like, he's like, oh, I tested positive for COVID, but I wasn't gonna miss WrestleMania. Like, there will be people like that at this thing. So yeah, people, please be careful. Please be careful. I care about Florida and Texas. I lived in both states. I care about you people. Somewhat, possibly, maybe. I don't know.
I went to Disney World and I got some family members in Texas, so I can claim them.
Okay, all right. I see. Moving on from that, NXT TakeOver in your house is coming back on June 13th. So we have our next TakeOver. Going to see some exciting matches. Karrion Kross, if he's still the NXT champion, because he's defending it in 2 weeks against the Prince Finn Balor. That could be a nice match. And Raquel Gonzalez defending her woman's title. And you have La Kushida defending the Cruiserweight. There's going to be some good stuff on that show, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited. In Your House last year was, I think, maybe one of, if not the first pandemic takeovers we had for NXT. Todd Pettengill is once again going to be a special guest host for In Your House. So they're definitely going all in with the 90s theme.
They're going all in.
I know. Well, I mean, they're not going head to head with All In because All In is like in September.
All In doesn't even exist anymore. It's All Out.
Sorry, All Out. Gotta get my branding right. All Out, WrestleMania Backlash, NXT Takeover in your house 2. I don't know, but
Look,
I mean,
man,
it's a takeover show. It's on a Sunday. It should be fun.
It's gonna be good. I'm waiting on like Sold Out or something. You know what I mean? Or NXT Takeover Greed. Like what? Just one time, Hunter. Trips. I know you listen. I know you listen. Just give me these things. Give me what I want. Like Dave Bautista. Just give me what I want. I want NXT Takeover Sold Out. I want Greed. I don't know. We can do it. We can do a Canadian Stampede. Sure. Why not?
No, absolutely not. That's where I
we
put
can
my
do it,
foot in the ground.
I'm an honorary Canadian, Brandon. Look, I'm working on
I would rather have Insurrection.
I was just thinking of that. We
Some
could bring
Canadian
back
pay-per-view dumb name.
Whoa, hey. Don't talk about my people like this. Like I was gonna get you in to see Drake, but if you don't want to hang with Drizzy, that's cool. That's cool.
I mean, is Drake really Canadian? I mean, he
Yes.
claims he's from it. He's like The Rock. He's from the Bay. He loves
was
Steph
born
Curry.
in Canada. What do you-
I know, but so was The Rock was born here, but yet he claims to be from everywhere
Because
else.
nobody knows where Hayward is. So yeah, okay, I'll be from Miami. That sounds cooler than Hayward,
everyone knows
California.
the haystack. I mean, come on.
Do you know the history of Hayward, Brandon? Do you know what Hayward used to be called?
I don't know, some racist thing.
No, it was Haywards. Yeah,
Words.
yeah. It was
Look at
plural.
that. Historian.
It was Do you know what Hayward was known for? What fruit do you think it was known for, Brandon? I'm gonna give you 3 guesses. Go ahead. Think
Grapes.
outside. Think outside the box.
I gotta think outside. We're looking for fruits.
Yes, fruits. Yes.
Okay, an outside the box fruit.
So you said grapes. No.
Apricots.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. Second try, baby. Woohoo! Yeah.
Complete guess. I will be honest. That was nowhere near my brain.
Yes. We were known for apricots. Everybody thought the gold was here, but they're like, no, that's further down, man. Great Bay Area knowledge. Hit Row has arrived. You know, Brianna Brady, AJ Francis, Ashanti the Adonis, all led by Isaiah Swerve Scott. Hit Row. I F with it, bro. I'm like, okay, you know, hey, when those shirts come out, you know I'm getting one, player. You already know. Like, what you repping on this Hit Row Records, baby. You already know what this is. So is AJ Francis, is he Suge? And Isaiah has to be Pac, right?
And then who's the other dude? Is he Snoop?
Well, what about Dre? I think Ashanti's Dre. And who are the females they had on the here? Let me look. Well, talk about it while I look this up.
Hit Row definitely, as we kind of already explained, almost a complete ripoff of Death Row from the 90s, which they came out. Isaiah just kind of came out by himself and he did like a little intro. The music was dope. I loved their swagger. I loved the way they came across. And then they opened their mouth and they kind of went a little too heavy in the rapping and trying to be too cute and rhyming all their words. But I really loved how they came across, and I loved the characterization of, you know, just being these cool rappers. I know NXT is more of the metal type scene, and I don't know, it's cool. I like it. Hopefully this is a sustained push for Swerve. I've said a bunch of times he gets pushed, he wins a match, and he loses a match. He actually won a feud, albeit against Leon Ruff, but hopefully maybe this is going to be a sustained push, presumably in the Cruiserweight division. And AJ Francis, I believe is his name. Hard for me to get super mad at him because he's a very likable guy on the WWE Hidden Treasure show on A&E.
Absolutely. All right, so I've looked it up. There were really only 2 female artists for Death Row. I don't think Brianna. Or no, there were 3. Or no, 4. 5. They had a white girl. What? I didn't know this. Okay, so there were like 5. Looking at it, I mean, she can't be Left Eye from TLC. She's not there yet. Boo boo. Jewel, I honestly never heard of her. Lady Rage, probably not. Joss Stone, no, we're not doing that. She could be Michelet. That was Dre's wife. She could be Michelet. Why not? So Swerve's Tupac. Or Francis is he's Suge. Ashanti, he could be Dre. And then Brianna, she could be Michelet. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. What's the dude's name's Ashante? Is that his name?
Ashante the Adonis.
Ashante.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Ashanti, but it's not
Well,
Ashanti.
I know it has two E's, but it's pronounced Ashante.
But I was getting some major YG vibes because he was wearing like some red overalls. They're definitely blooding. I'll say that.
Oh, they blooding them in the dang them all. Boy, they blooding. Ricky Starks has a broken neck, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon, take it away.
Yes, Ricky Stark does have a broken neck. I mean, it's not serious as a broken neck can be, I guess. I mean, the match he had with Hangman Page last week or a couple weeks ago, it looked brutal. He fell right in his head. Luckily, I guess he was able to continue the match, looked fine, but after further evaluation, he did have a broken neck. He will be out a few months, not like 6 months to a year. Hopefully he's going to be gone maybe 3 to 4 months. And this definitely kind of puts a hamper on the Christian Cage story. Kind of looked like that's the direction they were going. They did have to kind of make a sharp turn, but all the best to Ricky Starks. He is kind of the fall guy for Team Taz, but he was still doing some good work on the mic.
He was doing some good work on the mic. I like Ricky Starks, former NWA television champion. The guy's got spunk. He's got it. He's got something, He's got that factor. I want to see him win the championship. One time.
One time for the one time?
One time for the one time, baby. All right, this day in wrestling, Brandon, are you ready?
Stay ready, so don't got to get ready.
Here we go. So, Princess Victoria and Velvet McIntyre become the inaugural women's tag team champions in the WWE on this day in 1983. You see? Wasn't Sasha and Bayley.
But I thought, I guess Stephanie McMahon did still create these women's tag team titles, though, because everything related to women's wrestling, everything that is related to women's wrestling was created from Stephanie McMahon.
You know how this was created, though, right?
From Stephanie McMahon.
She was like, Daddy, what about tag team titles for girls? He was like, that's not a bad idea. Pat, come here. And then boom. That's how it happened.
Exactly. I mean, Stephanie is God's gift to women's wrestling.
You should respect Stephanie McMahon. This is the queen. This is the queendom where the kings bow down. Okay, all right now.
I know everyone is just talking all this smack about Eva Marie coming back. The Divas era might be returning, but Stephanie knows what she's doing. She knows what's best for the women's division. Okay, Stephanie McMahon has the most brilliant mind in women's wrestling ever.
Ever. Forever never seems the longest till you're gone. Outcast. I mean, Ms. Jackson.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson. I'm for real. Moving on from that, Rick Martel wins the AWA title on this day in 1984. Barry Windham wins the United States Championship on this day in 1988, completing the prophecy for the Horsemen to collect all the gold. Of course, Tully and Arn tag champs, Flair, the world champion, Stunning Steve Austin. I'm sorry. Makes his WCW debut on this day in 1993. That was 30 years, or 1991. That was 30 years ago. That's crazy. Also on this day in 1991, WWE moves to Titan Towers. They've been in that building for 30 years. Marvelous, isn't it?
And apparently they're moving out.
That should be the warehouse or the museum, whatever. I mean, just do that, right? I would assume.
Put it in Orlando because I want to go see Mickey and then go to Universal and then on the last day go to Universal go to the WWE Museum.
I don't know about that. Brandon, did you know people in the big costumes freak me out? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, man, I went to Disney World when I was a kid, dude. Like it's like as a kid.
Those are the actual characters. There's nobody in those suits.
No, bro, no, dude. It was like I remember I was walking around. It was nighttime too, and I got lost. I see this giant mouse coming at me. Like that's creepy. That's creepy.
Why are you alone?
Yes, I was alone. I was alone. Like, I got lost for a little bit, but I found my way back. Thank God.
And where is this at?
This was Disney World.
Okay. You said a mouse, and I was like, oh, was he at some some county fair, and there was some creepy, raggedy old mouse suit that was just coming at you? Like, that would be scary. But I mean, come on, it's Mickey. Mickey is so creepy, nice and loving.
It was like coming from the shadow. It was like something in a horror movie. It was like It coming to get you, or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. emerging out of the darkness, like the Undertaker when he makes his entrance, emerging out of the darkness into the light. There's this ominous figure, but it's a guy in a giant mouse suit wearing a giant mouse head. It was creepy.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but Five Nights at Phillip's.
I guess if you want to go there. Raw on this day in 2003, the WWE champion Hulk Hogan defeated Ric Flair. TNA Sacrifice 2007, Kurt Angle wins the NWA title, but due to some controversy, it's not in the record books. TNA Sacrifice 2012, Robert Roode retained the TNA title against RVD in a ladder match. And Raw on this day in 2019, The Fiend made his debut. What have been your thoughts on any of the stuff that happened on this day, Brandon?
The Fiend 2 years ago to the date has debuted. And when it started, it was kind of hot. People still kind of like it for better or for worse. But, shout out to Bray Wyatt. I was talking about earlier about Vince maybe saying he's a little too fat. But apparently Bray has been dealing with some mental health issues because of the passing of John Huber, Brody, Luke Harper, everything like that. So that's why he was kind of gone at the end of the year. And then he came back to kind of help out Vince and do the thing at WrestleMania. And he's still trying to get things all together. So shout out Bray. Hopefully everything, pans out and he can get everything figured out and he can, maybe come back. Or, if not, all the best to him.
Absolutely, man. Get better soon, Bray. We had some birthdays. Glacier is 57 years old. Kushida is actually, or no, not Kushida. I'm sorry. Jimmy Wang Yang is 40 years old, and Scarlett Bordeaux is 30.
Happy birthday to the Smoke Show.
Happy birthday to the Smoke Show. Woo, 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 woo. All right, we got some fan mail. Let's hit the fan mail real quick. No Mr. X this week.
No, Mr. X sent it in via the Twitter machine because he is still banned on Instagram. This is some BS.
Did he send it in via Twitter?
He tried to talk to AEW, and then AEW said, we don't do things like that. And it's been, 2 weeks now at this point, and he still hasn't gotten his account back. This is blasphemy. I'm doing my best Stephen A. impersonation right now.
I didn't see this till right now. I'm sorry. I apologize. Mr. X, I'm sorry, bud. We're gonna read your fan mails. Absolutes. Let me just get to the rest of the fan mails. All right, Jack of all trades. I'm sorry. I love you, Superkick. Those damn Bucks know how to play on our heartstrings. Yes, they do. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
I'll say it. I'm a fan of the evolution. # all pink everything. Oh, Hootie Hoo. I love you, man. Dan. Could Strowman walk out WrestleMania Backlash, the world champion? Seriously, what are the odds? We'll talk about that once we get to the predictions for WrestleMania Backlash. I'm going to hop over to the Twitter machine. We're going to get the fan mails from Embratis Day X.
Mr. X.
Here we
Free
go.
Mr. X.
Not going to lie, I do get a little chuckle out of some of the jabs that AEW takes at WWE. I tolerated Matt's version of the "Sorry, I Love You" spot with CD, but the bubbly bath segment was a little too much for me. I'm surprised they didn't have MJF trying to swim in the ring like the way Vince did. Yeah. Where does Darby go from here? Can he keep him in the TNT title picture, or do you have him go after the world title? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Has anyone seen The Fiend lately? Do you think they have any plans for him and Bray right now, or are they just waiting for a bigger pay-per-view like SummerSlam to bring him back? You said he was dealing with some stuff because Brody died. So, I assume that's why he's not on TV right now.
I would assume so. But the thing is with the Fiend character is you can't, unfortunately, we're getting more than enough Fiend shenanigans with Alexa Bliss doing her thing and the voodoo finish of the voodoo doll of Shayna Baszler's leg just going out miraculously. But, as much as I kind of poo-poo on the Fiend, it is nice that he's not here all the time. I know I'm probably not going to like it if and when he comes back, but it also kind of hurts that Alexa Bliss is here. So it is like, even when he does come back, it's still not a big deal because we're seeing the same things over and over again. But now it's with a puppet or a doll.
This is a puppet. This is actually a really good one. He says, don't know about you,
they're all really good.
Of course they are, but this is a really, really, really good one. I don't know about you, but I'm digging the fact that Mox is coming out to a classic song Wild Thing by the Truggers. Since TK is busting out the checkbook for the rights to all these songs, what entrance music updates would you like to see for your favorite AEW stars? Oh man. Just get them good music, bro. Just get them good music. You know? I do miss in wrestling like when a band would make a theme song for a wrestler. Like that's why Edge's is so good and Randy's, you know? They're made by bands. They're not just a couple dudes WWE hires to produce some tracks. You know what I mean?
I say it all the time. I love the NXT Triple H aesthetic. I know it might not be some people's cup of tea, but I want more metal in wrestling. I know it's been a thing with the Sandman, obviously, but do some Enter Sandman, do some Metallica. I mean, the good thing about the songs that AEW has chosen thus far is they're very well-known songs. People can sing along to them. They're iconic. I mean, the Wild Thing with John Moxley is kind of funny because obviously I go back to Major League and everything with that song. So, I mean, not. I don't want to piss anybody off, but I kind of did like John Moxley's NX or AEW theme maybe a little bit better because it was a little more hardcore, edgy, like just the riffs and everything.
Well, that was a one-time thing, right? I assume. I hope.
I mean, there's kind of why do you just break that song out for no? If anything, I thought they were going to go with like his New Japan theme, like he was going to come out to be like more the Death Rider.
Yeah, like it did not fit. It was not a home run. It was not a home run.
Love the song.
I love the song, yeah.
But I don't think it's the right fit for John Moxley.
It's not. And like when you hear that song, like you're not thinking about what's going on. You think about like another time you've heard it. Like for you said you were thinking about MLB. For me, I was thinking about Bob Saget singing it on like Full House or Filler House or something like that. You know, I'm not thinking about what's about to transpire in the ring. Think about something else.
Trying to go over in like some more, like who would fit, like what is someone that could really like get a boost from a well-known song. It's probably something. I mean, I have the Twitter DMs. I should have looked at this earlier and been like, oh, I could write some ones down. But I do like Hangman Page's theme on its own. It is one of the better AEW composed themes. But if you can get him if you can get him like a nice like country rock type song that a lot of people would know. I don't know what that would be out the top of my head, but
get Luke Combs, bro. If they can get Luke Combs on the track, sign me up, dude.
I know he might not be everyone's favorite musician, but this song is maybe one of the greatest wrestling themes of all time with the Von Erichs. If you can get Ted Nugent Stranglehold for Adam Page, I know it's kind of like just a blatant ripoff of another wrestler, but having him get Stranglehold, I mean, good God, that'd be amazing.
That's a possibility, yes. Look, man, this
is like Phillip doesn't know Stranglehold.
Yeah, I don't. Look,
wow, hating.
This is what
I know. Ted Nugent is a piece of what, but that's a fire.
I've never heard of this person a day in my life.
Man, it's a good thing.
It's the first time I've ever heard of him. Look, man, this is what you do.
You got some homework to do, Phillip, for next week.
Okay.
By Sunday.
This is what you do.
I want you to be.
You go to SmackDown versus Raw 06, 5, 7. You raid those. You got your theme music for a couple of guys, man. Those are some of the best rock songs I've ever heard in my life. Like when I hear them, I just remember a happier time. When music hits, I want to remember a happier time. I don't want to be like, well, what the hell is this? You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it. Brandon, what happened on Monday Night Raw?
Well, a lot of things happened on Monday Night Raw. We had Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman last week, so now we have to get Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre this week, and we didn't get a distraction finish, but we got a DQ finish this time. MVP talked with Braun Strowman backstage trying to do a business agreement or something of that nature, and Lashley was down. Strowman or McIntyre was looking to hit the Claymore to get that dubski, but Strowman lays out everyone. He stands strong. And that's the final image as we head into WrestleMania Backlash.
Yes, I'm excited for WrestleMania Backlash. Woohoo! Party over here. Strowman lays out everybody. I like that. The match, I mean, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Drew got off the Claymore. Strowman comes out. He's like, "Oh, where are you?" If he's not coming from the entrance, of course he's going to attack you from behind. Come on. Multiple power slams to McIntyre. Puts Lashley through the thing. He looked strong. He did. Does he win? Absolutely not. We keep the Lashley train going. Because when Brock Lesnar comes back, he's wrestling one of two people. Roman Reigns, like I said, or possibly Bobby Lashley to give us the match that we all want.
Going back to Hangman Page, give that man some Leonard Skinner. Need some Leonard Skinner in my life, in my wrestling.
This is right here. What if they just gave him that one? What if TK just threw the book at it and bought him that one? That'd be great, right?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Talk about getting some Leonard Skinner. What song are you talking about? Who's slamming the door? Everyone calm down.
Who is slam? You know, I was thinking of another band.
Do you not know who Leonard?
I know who they are. I know who they are. I was thinking Limp Bizkit. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway,
Limp Bizkit is WWE's favorite band.
I don't think Braun Strowman's gonna win the WWE Championship.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys.
We got some issues over there, but Phillip is very happy right now because we get the return of Jinder Mahal. He has returned. He's got some of his two best buddies with him. So now instead of he put the Bollywood boys in, some water, had them soak overnight, and they've grown up to be big, tall, strong lads. And now he's got these two fellas. One half of Indashir from NXT, Malcolm Bivens was doing something with them for like 2 weeks, and then that just fell off the face of the earth. And there you go.
Y'all hear that? Yeah, do y'all hear that? You can't hinder the Jinder, bro. Hey, that song slap. I don't care. I'll slap Jinder all day. Look, man. I'm a little torn though because Jeff Hardy. I mean, that was one of my dudes, man. I was running around tearing up my mom's socks and pantyhose, making Jeff Hardy armbands. Okay, that's one of my guys. He's in my top 10, hands down. But I love me some Jinder Mahal. I'm happy that he's back. Let's get him back on the right track, and let's get him back to the WWE Championship. It's a title they never should have lost, even though AJ beat him for it, which I love that. But I mean, still, let's get Jinder back to where he should be, in a championship picture. WWE, United States, hell, let him tag with one of those dudes. I'm not opposed to Jinder being a tag team champion. I'm not opposed to how come 3MB were never tag team champions? That seemed like an easy thing to do. I don't know why they never did that. You know what? Maybe Drew and Jinder get together and they right the wrong. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I will say I think we do get Jinder versus Drew in the summertime. And I'm not excited for that. Even less excited for if Jinder takes on Braun Strowman during the summer. At least Drew can get like a passable match out of Jinder. I mean, the match against Jeff Hardy this week was not very good. It was a few minutes. And I know it's Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's a legend. You can get, something out of him, but yet you have him I guess I kind of advertised it, but you have him just lose to Jinder Mahal in like 3 minutes. And he's just going to come back like in 3 weeks and we're going to act like nothing ever happened because he's Jeff Hardy.
Look, man, if you want to see Jeff have a longer match with Jinder Mahal, go watch Main Event from last week, okay? Do you even watch Main Event? Do you watch the product?
Of course I don't watch the product. I barely watch Raw. You expect me to watch Main Event?
Yeah, you know what? We're going to start covering Main Event on this show.
Well, that's when you take over, bud.
What? No. Oh, no. We're going to watch it all here. That's what we do here.
We're just going to do a full watch along every week, separate of Main Event.
We're going to watch Main Event, and then we're going to talk about it.
Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka. That happened. This was just also kind of a way for Charlotte to be on commentary and do Charlotte things. Charlotte, keep saying it. Better as a heel. She's doing pretty good work.
Look, her commentary is almost it's up there with me. Okay, commentary is good. But maybe when she retires from the ring, maybe she could sit in the chair. She could be the female Heenan, something like that. I'm not opposed to it. I would love to see it. I need to hit her up for commentary tips though. What do you say?
I mean, if you want to, slide in the DMs, ask for some commentary tips.
I
go for it.
I don't want El Idolo coming after me though. I assume if it's just business, then I should be fine, right?
Strictly business.
I don't want to catch that back elbow to the face. You know what I mean?
No, I understand what you're saying. But this was not Asuka's first match of the night because she wrestled in the opener. It was a 6-woman tag between Asuka, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, beating Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Charlotte Flair. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Alexa Bliss and Lily just magically appear on the stage.
Bro. She literally looked at her and her legs started to cramp for some voodoo, and Asuka kicked her in the face and won. I'm like, what? Look, I like when wrestling gets weird. Don't get me wrong. I like when wrestling gets weird. But whoa, what are we doing?
Voodoo doll finishes is a step too far in Phillip's book.
Look, I don't Papa Shango's not around anymore. This isn't 1992. Okay. 91, 92, 93, whatever it was. What are we doing? Doing?
We've already seen Randy Orton puke black goo. So we're already there. We're already down the Papa Shango route.
Okay, look, that's black goo. Okay, that's whatever. But come on, man. That now we're getting weird with controlling muscles and whatnot. I don't understand. I don't get it. Ooh.
Well, now this is canon. Why doesn't Alexa Bliss / Lily just do this all the time, and she could just waltz her way to the women's championship? Hell, she could dethrone Roman Reigns with that voodoo power.
No voodoo is strong enough to dethrone our tribal chief. Slap yourself. Slap yourself. Don't ever say that again. Oh, why'd you slap yourself?
That got more nose and lips than it did cheeks,
dude.
So that kind of hurt.
Yeah, I hope you're all right, my guy. Yeah, man, it's just they keep surprising me though with the voodoo stuff, like lights fall down, the black goo, and they're like, well, all right, what else can we do? Okay, yeah, you're gonna have a muscle spasm tonight. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is she gonna wait, haven't they done it? Well, I'm trying to think. You know what? I shouldn't be surprised because the goo Tajiri spits and whatnot. There are different colors, and then those can leave you unable to move. They can have a narcolepsy effect on you. So I shouldn't really be surprised by this, right?
It's been well established in the Bulletcast. You've explained all the different colors and the history of the Japanese mist.
Yeah, so I shouldn't even be surprised by this. She should incorporate the mitt. It's a pandemic going on. You know what? What if she just snaps and it shoots out? That's okay, right? She's not spitting it on anybody.
She just, like Spider-Man, just right at her wrists.
Yeah, or they cough up whatever the goo is and it has the same effect.
Or you can just take a spray bottle and spray them like they're a cat.
That's a possibility as well.
Bad Shayna. And then she runs away.
Anyway, when's Shayna Baszler going to be the world champion, Brandon?
For WWE, probably not. Probably never.
Oh, she's going to be one of those?
Probably.
Okay, I see.
Maybe Charlotte can't win it for the 20th time. They look around and say, you know what? We'll just give it to Shayna. Why not? Charlotte hasn't beaten her for a title yet, so Shayna can have a 3-month reign, and then
listen to me. Can Shayna have one night where she goes back to NXT and wrestles Raquel Gonzalez for the title? Can we do that?
I mean, they could do that. And I will say when Shayna came back to NXT, she had a little bit of that swagger that she had.
Yeah. There was a little bit. So do you want to continue? Should I just take this over?
Johnny Drip Drip took on Damian Priest, and the winner got to pick the stipulation for Damian Priest and Miz's match, and the Miz just could not get out of his own way. Morrison apparently in storyline could have beat Damian Priest multiple times, but no, Priest ends up getting the win, and then he decides to choose a lumberjack match.
I guess okay, it's whatever. I don't know. I mean, this storyline is it's lost all meaning.
I was thinking, why didn't he just go down the cage route? But in recent WWE history, the lumberjack matches have been quite successful. It worked with Sami Zayn and Big E, so I think Damian Priest is onto something. Apparently, humans are a better cage than steel metal. Apparently.
Priest, he's done his research. He's a student of the game.
He is a student of the game. I mean, he's so old, he better be a student of the game.
How are you going to say that about that man? Come on, man.
I'm just speaking facts.
How old is he? He's not that old.
You look it up right now. How old is Damian Priest?
I'll look it up right now to see how old is Punishment.
What is old?
Martinez.
What would you consider old?
I mean,
north of 35?
It depends. I mean, let's see. Not Damian Lillard. I want Damian Priest.
Dame time.
I mean, Damian Lillard. He's great. He's 38. You act like he was like 45 or something.
I mean, he's a 38-year-old rookie.
I mean, in WWE, yeah. AJ Styles was a rookie when he got to WWE. You have to have that rookie year. Doesn't matter where you've been.
AJ Styles when he was a rookie.
Yeah, he was. That was a couple years ago. He was like the same age.
How old is AJ Styles? Now we're just looking at people's ages.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you get to WWE, you have to have a rookie year. You know what I'm saying?
He's 43 now.
Okay.
He debuted
5 years ago.
So that would be 38.
Yeah, you see, exactly.
Yeah, but AJ Styles was a world-traveled, hottest free agent.
But he was still called a rookie. I remember Miz saying, "Rookie doesn't matter what you did everywhere else. You're a rookie here now." It's the same thing.
You know who ain't no rookie? Eva Marie, because we get another vignette, and she is in a bikini, and she's in some dresses, and she's talking all inspirational Instagram model BS stuff that you see all the time. So I don't know if she's a babyface or an ironic heel. A little scared.
She's a babyface. What do you mean? She's a super role model. She's a super role model. How dare you?
Bailey doesn't take too kindly to that.
Bailey doesn't take too kindly into that. I wonder what Britt Baker has to say about that. I mean, she's the only role model that I see. You know what I mean?
When do we see Eva Marie? Does she show up? She shows up
at Double or Nothing.
At Elimination Chamber, and Elimination Chamber at Money in the Bank, and she wins the briefcase by doing nothing like she normally does.
Bro, I would love that.
She does the Brock Lesnar treatment.
I thought they should have put the title on her. Could you imagine the pop because people, they really just don't like her. Could you imagine the pop for if you want to build a really good babyface, they beat her? I mean, come on.
A little scared. I was defending the Eva Marie stuff last week, but then when they came out with that other vignette of her, I'm really hoping they're self-aware enough to have her be a heel, but just it's WWE and the way their women's division is going right now, I'm a little scared.
You know what's funny? This is that supermodel thing that Vince, or this bombshell thing that Vince has always wanted to do. I mean, we had Sable, but it wasn't really great in the ring, and that was a different time. You had Tori. I mean, she was successful with it. She was one of the top females on the roster. Never really wrestled. Never had the title. I mean, he's tried this with Emma. Didn't work out. Tenille Dashwood tried it with Carmella.
I would say Trish Stratus worked out pretty well.
Trish Stratus, yeah. I mean, she became more of a wrestler. This would be a consistent character.
I mean, she came in to manage
TNA.
A faction called TNA.
TNA. They should have went over to TNA. But yeah, I mean, Trish Stratus turned out pretty well. And then we look at Carmella. She just came to do it. Didn't happen. Didn't really work out. She's back to kind of wearing the money attire. So maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. And I'm excited for it. I really am. I love Eva Marie. She's representing the Bay. Shout out. I think, if given time, I mean, she had a whole bunch of time before, and I don't know how she's working out now. She could be better. Like, we don't know, dude. We haven't seen her compete since 2016. Like, we don't know. We don't know what's been going on.
Let's move on to AEW Dynamite, shall we? Jon Moxley defeats Yuji Nagata and retains the IWGP United States Championship. Already talked about the entrance of Wild Thing. Who knows if it's going to, I guess we have to wait and see if it's if that's his new theme song. But the match itself, very reminiscent of a New Japan type of style. A lot of striking. Most parts stayed in the ring, a lot of grappling. I enjoyed it. It's fun to see a New Japan legend in the AEW ring. 23 years since his WCW appearance. So now, him, Tony, Big Show, Jericho, and Sting, the only guys to have competed both on Nitro and on AEW now.
Say Sting hasn't competed. Oh, you're talking about in general.
In general.
Well,
appearances.
Appearances. Okay. Yeah, I thought the match was cool. Yuji Nagata, I've been watching this stuff back since I found out this was going to happen. The guy was legit, multiple time champion over in Japan. Believe he held the GHC title thing. So, yeah, he can get it done in the ring, man. I don't know. It's something about that culture, man. Like the guys that last until like they're 55 and 60, they just get better with age. I don't know what they do over there, but I need to start. Brandon, we need to start doing it.
They're built different, as TikTok will tell me.
Oh, I like that one dude. I'm built different. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love it.
Cody Rhodes has a promo, and he is building to a match with Anthony Ogogo at Double or Nothing. And Cody Rhodes put on his best politician speech. He talked about how much he loves America and how Ogogo is prospering from America, but yet he's going to disrespect it. And for one night only him and his brother are able to do this, and nothing's changing on the appearance. It's all on the inside. But at Double or Nothing, the American dream is coming back.
Yes. I did. He talked about how he and Brandy are having their little girl, and I saw something on Twitter. Somebody was like, Cody, your mixed race baby is not going to stop racism. I was like, oh, damn. Shots fired. But I Cody, he's a great promo, man. I like this. He says, you're not going to be wrestling the American Nightmare. You're going to get the American Dream. I like that. It's whatever, man. Cody can do whatever he wants. He's always going to have a prominent spot on the card. This is a big deal for Anthony Ogogo, a big singles match on pay-per-view against a big name and a high caliber talent like Cody Rhodes. I think this is only going to do wonders for Mr. Ogogo.
The promo I thought was really good, just on the surface, very touchy issues, rah, I love America, talk about racism and, hot button issues. I thought Cody did a phenomenal job. He kind of walked up to that line without being a little too overbearing. And he's a smart guy, so he kind of knows where the line is. And I thought he was able to draw a lot of emotion. And it worked because you can feel the emotion that he was talking about, especially when he talked about, segregation. And then in a few months, his black wife is going to give birth to a mixed child, and just everything that kind of came out from that. So, when it comes to like stuff like this, there's not a lot of people I would trust to cut a promo like that. And I think Cody did a really good job with the touchy subject that he had to talk about.
Absolutely. He's one of the very few that can do such things.
Moving on. The Young Bucks, kind of just not thrown out there, but they take on SCU for the AEW tag team titles. And I was yelling at my television. Why are the Young Bucks wearing white laces with bread ones? You don't wear white laces with bread ones. But we all figured out why. Because Christopher Daniels is bleeding like a stuffed pig, and he gets his blood all over Matt's breads. And he does the "I'm sorry, I love you" spiel, kicks him. We get a golden trigger. Yada, yada, yada. The SCU is no more. Young Bucks retain. Christopher Daniels on the Twitter kind of hinting this might have been the end of the road.
Oh man, I mean, one of the one of the best tag teams, man. I mean, from their days as Bad Influence in TNA to the Addiction in Ring of Honor, then SCU in Ring of Honor to the Indies and um AEW. Hey man, a job well done, badass match. Uh if this is it for CD, man, what a hell of a career. Hell of a career. I mean, the fallen angel to almost becoming the higher power in WWE to being a journeyman to having badass matches in TNA with the likes of Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, having the only 5-star match in that company's history, to forming with Kazarian and kind of getting a career renaissance for the both of those guys, multiple time tag team champions anywhere they did the dance. And what I really liked about this match, Excalibur pointed it out, and all they've wrestled each other 12 times. They were 6-6. This was the rubber match. So now Bucks up 7-6. I thought that was great. Congratulations to the Young Bucks. I mean, they are getting a little too cute here at times, but they can, the style's changed, and they can put on a banger in this newfound persona, which I mean, it's the Bucks, so they should always be able to put out a banger. But hey man, SCU, it is what it is. You guys had a good run. I'm sure Kazarian's still going to compete as a single star. You know, Scorpio Sky's kind of parted ways with those boys. So, hey, man, it is what it is.
Wholeheartedly agree. Christopher Daniels, fantastic career. Maybe a little underrated, underappreciated career. He's been around for a long time. And I had to look this up. I have to put him on that list as well because he did compete on a Nitro episode in January 22nd, 2001. Had a botched moonsault, hurt his neck, couldn't wrestle again. So he did have one match on Nitro. So add him to the list with Nagata, Show, and all those other guys. But CD having 20+ year career, him and Kaz doing their thing in TNA, ROH, AW for a long time. And I mean, that's kind of where I really fell in love with them, was back in the TNA days, like 10 years ago or whatever. And even before that, the matches he's had with AJ and Samoa Joe and everything like that, just a fantastic career. I don't think this is the end. I think you can get more out of this. Maybe, but I said that with this match as well. I thought you could have done more with it, have it be at Double or Nothing. But maybe it is just Daniels is done. He wants to focus more on the backstage role, and he just wants to get it over with. So whatever he wants, I guess, is what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
Then Christian Cage has a promo backstage, and he talks about how he has an open challenge, an open contract for next week. Kind of, throwing some shots at Team Taz. Ricky Starks seemingly was the direction they were going, but with the broken neck, he can't go that way. He says he will be in the Casino Battle Royal at Double or Nothing. And Matt Sydal interrupts and says he signed the contract, so he will have the open challenge next week. So it's 2010 WWE Superstars or something, with Christian taking on Matt Sydal.
2010 WWE ECW with the silver ECW title.
There you go.
What? Yeah, man, it's cool. I'm obviously this was done because of Ricky Stark's neck or whatever. I'm down to see it. It should be nice.
It should be nice. Something that wasn't nice was Orange Cassidy getting injured during the Pac match. This was to determine who was going to be the number one contender, but Cassidy, landed hard on a power bomb, kind of spiking his head, and he was kind of visibly shaken up. Aubrey Edwards was kind of talking to him. Pac was just kind of awkwardly standing around. Filled some television time through a commercial. Then Don Callis comes out. Kenny hits Pac with the title, double countdown, and this leads to a triple threat match. Apparently, this wasn't the planned finish, but the end goal was still achieved with Pac and Orange Cassidy being in a triple threat match. It seems as though Orange will be fine. Good for him. But, kind of hard to really talk about the match itself because before they could really get going, the powerbomb happened.
Yeah, this is the first time AEW's done a triple threat, right? For the title. For the title. Yeah. I mean, they've had like one or two triple threats, nothing,
Thank God.
Yes, I mean, they don't do it that often, so when it does happen, it means something. We'll wait and see. I don't really have anything to say about it right now.
This is the best use of a triple threat match. It's not, three guys who hate each other. This is more the fact they didn't have a contender waiting in the wings to face Kenny, so might as well just put two out there. Apparently, you just lose a match and you just slide all the way down from 1 to 5. Whatchamacallit, Hangman Adam Page has a promo backstage with the Dark Order. He's going to face Brian Cage. So we got Page and Cage at Double or Nothing.
Because he said for Brian Cage, it will be Double or Nothing.
Ooh, he said the thing.
Ooh.
MJF and Tully Blanchard said the thing during the Pinnacle's coronation. Tully got the boys some nice watches. Then the Inner Circle show up. Not all of them. No Santana, because apparently he was sick. But in kayfabe terms, he got arrested because he tried to stabbed MJF. And yada, yada, yada. We do a replay of the Stone Cold beer bath with the bubbly. And MJF challenges the Inner Circle to a stadium stampede at Double or Nothing. But if the Inner Circle lose, they will no longer be a stable.
The Inner Circle's going to win. Yeah, the Inner Circle's going to win. That's it.
I mean, I don't know about that. I think there's a possibility.
Okay, if they lose, then what happens? Jericho's fine. He's Chris Jericho. What happens to Hager, Santana, Ortiz? They already haven't been in the title picture while with a stable. Could you imagine what happens if they're no longer in a stable? And then, of course, what happens to Sam? I mean, I think Sammy will be fine. I see him being the TNT champion eventually.
I think the only one that it would hurt the most would be Hager, because he's kind of the mute, the heavy who doesn't do a whole lot. I think Santana, Ortiz are fantastic. Sammy is on his way up. Jericho's Jericho. They're going to do their own things. But I kind of agree with you that I can see, Inner Circle, but that also might be the thing. It's there's no way the Inner Circle is going to break up, so they have to win this match. And then they lose. But I do like how MJF framed this match much more seriously than what the match was last year. He kind of acknowledged it. It's not fun, no funny business. So I don't know if this is going to be more hardcore, if it's going to be a full-on walk and brawl with blood and everything of that nature. So it will be interesting to see what they do in this Stadium Stampede, because they did kind of set it up to be different than the last one.
Absolutely.
Britt Baker has a sit-down promo with Jim Ross talking about her match with not Kushida, but Hikaru Shida. And I mean, it was really good stuff. They talked about they had a Forbes shoot and they got in a little scuffle in the ring a couple days ago. And then Thunder Rosa comes out and she has a squash match following this. So maybe kind of planting some seeds that Britt Baker might win. And Thunder Rosa is back, kind of on her way up and possibly going towards that route for these two women for the women's title.
I'm all for it. I really am. Let's do it.
Hashtag analysis. And then in the main event, Miro takes on Darby Allin for the TNT title. This was not exactly a squash, wasn't a short match like me and Phillip kind of predicted. This was in the main event. It went about 15 minutes. Miro was definitely in control for a majority of it. Darby selling his ass off, making some comebacks. I know you've probably seen the suicide diver. He just bounces off of Miro and just lands on the ground. But in the end, Miro gets the win. Darby loses. Sting was there to try to help him out, but he didn't get involved. Miro just beats him clean, pretty much. And Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky attack Sting, so that's kind of setting up that direction. And Lance Archer comes out and kind of a stare down with Miro. Why? I don't really know why, but we are kind of getting the direction of where these two guys are going after this TNT title match.
Yeah, so we're going to get Sting and Darby versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, Miro possibly versus Lance Archer at the pay-per-view, and yeah, that's cool. I'm glad Miro's champion. He finally feels important now. So yeah, let's get her done.
They kept saying that his debut was in September, and it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it also does feel like it was that long ago because he hasn't done anything.
That's crazy. That's outrageous. It's Miro Day.
There's a pay-per-view this weekend, Phillip. And we're not title ain't on the line because it's not WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, but you see, normally you say, "Oh, when I'm the champion, we gotta defend on the ones." The title's not on the line. You see? Yeah. Get my best LA night. WrestleMania Backlash. So we're going to run through these pretty quick. We've been going pretty long. Asuka versus Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. I think Rhea Ripley keeps her championship. Asuka takes the fall.
I agree. Rhea gets the win. Asuka takes the fall. Definitely building towards Charlotte and Rhea. I look at SummerSlam, I was like, is that really where they go? But I don't think they go that far without having Charlotte versus Rhea somewhere. I mean, you have the title, the briefcase hanging around for Money in the Bank, but they're definitely leaning towards Charlotte and Rhea for something in the summertime.
Absolutely. Damian Priest versus The Miz in a lumberjack match. I think Miz gets a dub over the rookie Damian Priest.
And I will go with Damian Priest. I keep saying that the lumberjack match has been successful and working the way it should. They're teasing a Miz Morrison breakup. I don't know if this is going to be the breaking point, but there's probably going to be something or another that happens and Priest gets the win.
I assume you had this. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, are going up against the Mysterios.
Yes, they are going up against the Mysterios because, I do the research.
You have the inside scoop.
I got the inside scoop, aka it was on the Wikipedia.
Okay, I see.
And the Dirty Dogs are taking on the Mysterios. Possibly the first time ever a father-son combo will become WWE Tag Team Champions. But I don't think that's going to happen this week.
I'm surprised Vince and Shane never did that. You would think, right? I mean, Vince was ECW and WWE champion. Shane was what the European. You'd think that would have happened. That's funny.
Damn. But I think they will get it eventually, but not here. Not here.
No. I'm gonna keep it on the Dirty Dogs. All right, the WWE Championship, the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley defends against the former two-time world champion, the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, and the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Can Braun finally win the big one, win the real world championship? I don't think so. We're keeping it on the almighty. My pick is Bobby Lashley.
I'm going with Bobby Lashley as well. Kind of crazy that it seems as though Braun Strowman is the fall guy in this match, but I think that is the direction they will be going. It is kind of the obvious route, so maybe they pull the trigger and have Drew lose here, but they're still kind of protecting him, even though I feel Drew is getting colder by the hour.
Yes, he's getting Cody ice cold. Ice, baby. All right, the SmackDown Women's Championship, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair goes up against the former SmackDown Women's Champion, the role model, Bayley. The EST beats Bayley.
Absolutely. Match would be fun if given the time, so excited to see what they can do.
Yes. Next up, the Swiss Superman looks to dethrone the current reigning head of the table, our tribal chief, the Universal Champion, Mr. Roman Reigns. We all know where this is going. Cesaro's going to put in that work. He's going to put on a great match. He's going to put up a good fight. But that big fight isn't big enough for the big dog. Tribal Chief retains the Universal Championship.
Very excited to see this match and see exactly what they can do. Cesaro's going to show up. He's going to try to, do everything that he can. The finish is where I wonder what they're going to do. I don't have I doubt in my mind that Roman's not going to win this match. He's absolutely winning. It's just how do they get there? They put a lot of stock in Cesaro. They have Seth kind of on the outskirts, possibly doing something. But I think Cesaro is going to be maybe on the cusp of winning because Roman has kind of been there, almost losing to Daniel Bryan a few times. So it's not like he can't lose. So I'm going to go with Cesaro almost winning, and then maybe Jay gets involved one way or another.
Absolutely. I see it all happening. Superstar Spotlight, who do we got? I'll wait until WrestleMania Backlash to give my Superstar Spotlight. Brandon, do you have anything?
Anybody? I'm going to give it to Yuji Nagata, showing up on AEW Dynamite and having a hell of a match.
I see.
There you go.
I see. All right, promo pick of the week, Randy Orton versus Mick Foley, the Backlash video package from 2004. You can see the passion and the anger and the disgust that each man had for each other. A match that really made Randy Orton okay, the kid can hang, Oh, this is back when Randy was for the Intercontinental Champion. I remember that. Those were some good times, man.
And I mean, Randy Orton has kind of talked about how this match kind of took him to the next level, and he was able to, kind of gain that respect and have a different hardcore match like this. So very important in kind of both these guys' career. Kind of Mick Foley's last hurrah and Randy Orton taking that next step.
Absolutely. Brandon, what's our closed match pick of the week?
Well, the higher-ups told me that I had to pick a match from Backlash, and so why not pick a match that I've never seen before, because this is during my dead era. John Cena takes on Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship in a last man standing match. 2 all-time rivals, Edge, Cena, 2009. Love to see it.
So what'd you think of the match?
Oh, it was a great match. I definitely did watch this. It was
What'd you think of the finish?
The finish, it was such an intriguing finish with John Cena getting the win.
He didn't win.
Dang it! I felt like Edge did win, but when in doubt, bet on John Cena.
How are you gonna pick a match and not even watch it?
I meant to get around to it.
Does that?
Yeah.
Brandon,
I've been such a hardworking man lately.
I'm disappointed. Oh man, bro, Big Show chokeslam Cena through a stage light. Come on, man.
Was that turn number 364?
No, it was turn number 7.
Oh, okay.
God, I remember this match vivid. I didn't even have to go watch it back. Come on.
And tell us all about it.
Cena won the world title a month early, or no, not even a month, a couple weeks earlier at WrestleMania. And then so Edge wanted a rematch. They had the last man standing match. Show comes out there, choke slams Cena through a light, 1, 2, 3, or not 1, 2, 3, but 1 through 10. Boom. Edge is the world champion again. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast, email is Bulletcast2 is the number 2, sweet as WET at gmail.com, 104.7 FM KAPU, and watch available Friday night from 11 to midnight, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Spotify, Patreon. We're all over the damn place. We will be back Sunday for Wrestlemania Backlash. Brandon and myself, stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined, get vaccinated. Diamonds are forever, so is the microphone beside.
We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt when your face is.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.